Did you know that many circulation problems in your legs and feet don't begin while you're walking, but while you're sitting or sleeping, when your body is least prepared to protect itself? As a surgeon, I've seen too many adults over 60 who stayed active, followed advice, and still developed cold feet, swelling, nighttime cramping, or unexplained weakness that slowly changed how they move through their day. What's unsettling is that these changes often feel small at first, almost harmless, until one day balance slips, healing slows, or a simple misstep leads to a fall that no one saw coming. The truth is, poor blood flow isn't just about comfort. After 60, it can quietly affect your nerves, your skin, your stability, and even your long-term independence. Most people are told to walk more and hope for the best. But in medical practice, we know circulation depends on specific muscle actions that walking alone often fails to activate as the body ages. In this video, I'll show you 5 targeted exercises that help increase blood flow and circulation in your legs and feet. Movements we rely on in clinical and rehabilitation settings because they work with how the aging body actually functions. I'll explain why they matter, how to do them safely, and why the most powerful one could change how strong and steady your legs feel in the years ahead. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoyed this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Exercise number 1, seated toe, and exercise no 1, heel pumps. What most people over 60 don't realize is that circulation often starts failing quietly long before a doctor ever mentions a diagnosis. It shows up in small ways that are easy to dismiss: feet that feel colder than they used to, shoes that feel tighter by evening, a dull ache in the ankles when you finally lie down at night. Many older adults tell themselves this is just normal, aging. But deep down, there's a lingering fear that something inside their body isn't working the way it once did. And that fear grows stronger when swelling doesn't go away or when walking starts to feel heavier than it should. This is exactly where seated toe and heel pumps matter. This exercise is designed for adults over 60% who may still be active but are spending more time sitting than they realize, watching television, reading, driving, or recovering from illness or surgery. It's especially important if standing exercises feel intimidating, painful, or unsafe right now. Sitting doesn't mean your circulation gets a break. In fact, prolonged sitting is one of the fastest ways blood begins to pull in the feet and lower legs. When that happens repeatedly, swelling increases, tissues receive less oxygen, and healing slows. Over time, that can quietly increase the risk of skin breakdown, infections, and balance problems that make falls more likely. Seated toe and heel pumps work because they activate a natural pumping mechanism in the lower legs. When you lift your toes and then your heels with intention, the muscles around your ankles and calves contract and relax in a rhythm that physically helps move blood upward back toward the heart. This is not about intensity or strength. It's about restoring motion to a system that has become sluggish. For older adults who worry about doing too much or making things worse, this movement is gentle enough to feel safe, yet powerful enough to make a real difference when done consistently. This exercise is ideal on days when you feel stiff, tired, or unsteady, and it can be done even if you're dealing with arthritis, joint pain, or limited mobility. However, rushing through the movement or bouncing your feet without control defeats the purpose. When done carelessly, it becomes meaningless motion rather than therapeutic contraction. Slow, deliberate movement is what signals your veins to respond. After watching this, the most important action is simple. Begin using your sitting time intentionally. Every time you sit down for more than a few minutes, remind yourself that circulation doesn't maintain itself. It needs guidance. These small controlled movements can help warm your feet, reduce swelling, and give you back a sense of control over your body. But this is only the first step. This movement wakes the system up. The next exercise strengthens the muscles that keep blood from falling back down in the first place. And that's where the real transformation begins. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 2. Exercise number 2, seated leg extensions. Many adults over 60 notice a quiet shift long before anyone labels it a problem. Getting out of a chair takes a little more effort. Stairs feel steeper than they used to. Legs tire faster, even though the desire to stay independent hasn't changed. What's unsettling isn't just the weakness itself, but the unspoken worry behind it. If my legs keep losing strength, how long before my world starts shrinking? How long before errands feel exhausting, travel feels risky, or a simple misstep turns into something life-altering? Seated leg extensions are designed for this exact stage of life. They are especially helpful for older adults who are still mobile but beginning to feel stiffness, heaviness, or fatigue in the legs, particularly after sitting for long periods. This exercise is ideal on days when walking feels possible but not productive. When you've moved yet your legs still feel sluggish or swollen by the afternoon, it targets muscles that quietly weaken with age but play a critical role in both circulation and independence. When you slowly extend your leg while seated, the large muscles in the E-front of your thigh contract with intention. These muscles surround major blood vessels, and when they engage properly, they help push blood out of the lower legs and back toward the heart. This is important because after 60, blood often has a harder time making that uphill journey without enough muscular assistance. It pools in the calves and feet, contributing to swelling, discomfort, and slower tissue repair. Over time, this can increase the risk of skin breakdown, infections, and reduce tolerance for walking or standing. What makes this movement especially valuable is control. Many older adults fear that strengthening exercises might strain joints or worsen pain, so they avoid them altogether. But avoiding muscle engagement creates a different problem. Weak thighs mean less support for the knees and hips, poorer circulation, and greater instability when standing up or climbing stairs. Done slowly and with proper posture, seated leg extensions help reverse this cycle without putti, unnecessary stress on the joints. This exercise should be avoided only during periods of acute injury or severe joint inflammation, unless cleared by a healthcare provider. Rushing through it, swinging the leg, or using momentum can reduce its benefits and increase discomfort. The goal is not speed, but steady, deliberate contraction. As you practice this movement, the action step is simple. Focus on quality, not quantity. Feel the muscle working. Breathe. Let your legs relearn how to support circulation and movement together. But even strong thighs can't do the job alone. There's a deeper circulation driver below the knee that determines how efficiently blood truly returns upward. And that's where the next exercise becomes essential. Exercise number three, supported calf raises. There is a moment many adults over 60 quietly recognize, even if they never say it out loud. You're standing at the kitchen counter or waiting in line at the grocery store, and you suddenly feel unsure of your footing. It's not dizziness. It's a subtle hesitation in your legs, a sense that they don't respond as quickly or as strongly as they once did. In that moment, a deeper fear often surfaces, the fear that balance is slipping, and with it, confidence, independence, and safety. Supported calf raises are designed for this stage of life when strength and circulation need to be rebuilt together. This exercise is particularly important for older adults who are still able to stand but feel less steady, notice swelling in their lower legs by the end of the day, or experience aching calves and tight ankles after periods of inactivity. It is best performed when you can safely hold on to a counter or sturdy chair, and it should be avoided during episodes of acute foot pain, recent fractures, or severe balance disorders unless guided by a healthcare professional. The power of this movement lies in the calf muscles. These muscles act as one of the body's most important circulation doctor. Ivers below the heart. Each time they contract, they compress deep veins in the lower legs, helping push blood upward against gravity. As we age, this mechanism weakens, especially if we sit more and walk with shorter, less forceful steps. When the calf muscles don't engage fully, blood begins to pull in the feet and ankles. That pooling contributes to swelling, heaviness, and a reduction in oxygen delivery to tissues, which can quietly slow healing and increase vulnerability to skin problems and infections. Many older adults fear standing exercises because they worry about falling or straining their joints. That fear is understandable. However, avoiding these movements entirely can make the problem worse. Weak calves not only impair circulation, but also slow the body's ability to react when you stumble. This is how a simple misstep can turn into a serious fall. Supported calf raises done slowly and with control allow you to strengthen this critical muscle safely while reinforcing balance and coordination at the same time. Rushing through this exercise or bouncing at the top reduces its effectiveness and can strain the Achilles tendon. The true benefit comes from controlled movement and brief pauses that force the muscle pump to stay active long enough to move blood efficiently. Over time, this leads to warmer feet, reduced swelling, and a stronger sense of stability when standing or walking. The most important action is consistency. Choose a safe surface, hold on lightly, and focus on how your calves engage with each rise. This is not about pushing limits. It's about restoring function. And yet, even this powerful movement has a ceiling. To truly change how your legs handle circulation and balance under real life conditions, the next exercise introduces a challenge that many people overlook, and it may be the missing link you didn't realize you needed. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment #1 below to let me know you here. Now, let's keep going with point number 4. Exercise no 4. Exercise number 4, single leg stance. Hold. There is a quiet moment many people over 60% experience that stays with them far longer than they admit. It might happen while putting on pants, stepping into the shower, or reaching for something in the kitchen. You lift one foot and for a split second, your body hesitates. You catch yourself, but the thought lingers, what if next time I don't? That moment often marks the beginning of a deeper fear, not just of falling, but of what a fall could take away. The single leg stance hold speaks directly to that fear. This exercise is meant for older adults who are still able to stand, but feel their balance is no longer automatic. It's especially relevant if you've noticed that you move more cautiously, avoid uneven ground, or feel less confident standing for long periods. These changes often appear alongside circulation problems because when balance declines, people move less. And when movement decreases, blood flow to the legs and feet slows even further. When you stand on one leg, your body is forced to recruit multiple muscle groups at once. The calf, ankle, thigh, hip, and core all contract continuously to keep you upright. This sustained contraction creates a powerful circulation effect. Unlike walking, where each foot is only briefly on the ground, a single leg hold keeps the muscle pump engaged for an extended period. That prolonged engagement helps push blood upward, reducing pooling in the lower legs and improving circulation to the feet. Many older adults underestimate how important this sustained effort is. They may believe balance exercises are only about preventing falls, but the circulatory benefit is just as critical. When blood flow improves, tissues receive more oxygen, swelling is reduced, and nerves function more efficiently. This can translate into warmer feet, less heaviness in the legs, and better control during everyday movements. This exercise should be done near a stable surface, such as a kitchen counter, and avoided during episodes of severe dizziness, acute pain, or recent injury. Unless approved by a healthcare provider, attempting it without support or pushing beyond your current ability can increase anxiety and raise the risk of injury. The goal is not to prove strength, but to rebuild trust between your brain and your body. The most important action here is patience. Start with brief holds, allow your body to adapt, and focus on steady breathing. Over time, this movement helps retrain the nervous system while keeping blood moving where it needs to go. But balance alone isn't the final answer. There is one movement that takes everything you've built so far and amplifies it, one that directly targets the most powerful circulation mechanism in your lower legs. And once you understand it, you'll see why surgeons rely on it more than any other. Exercise number 5, standing calf pump hold. At some point, NT after 60, many people notice a change that's hard to explain, but impossible to ignore. Your feet feel colder, even in warm rooms. Your legs feel heavy at the end of the day. Swelling shows up around the ankles, and shoes that once fit comfortably now feel tight by evening. Beneath those symptoms is a quiet, persistent worry. Is my circulation failing? And if it is, what does that mean for my future? The standing calf pump hold directly addresses that fear because it targets the most powerful circulation mechanism in your lower body. This exercise is often used in medical rehabilitation settings for a reason. Below the heart, your calves act like a pressure pump. When they contract and stay engaged, they physically squeeze deep veins in the lower legs and push blood upward against gravity. After 60, this mechanism weakens, not because you've done something wrong, but because muscle strength, nerve signaling, and daily movement all gradually decline. This exercise is especially valuable for older adults who can still stand but feel that circulation problems are becoming harder to manage. It's appropriate when swelling builds throughout the day, when feet feel numb or cold at night, or when walking alone no longer seems to improve how your legs feel. It should be done with light support from a chair or counter and avoided only during periods of severe balance, instability, acute pain, or recent lower leg injury unless approved by a health care professional. What makes the standing calf pump hold different from regular heel raises is the hold itself. Rising onto the balls of your feet and staying there for several seconds keeps the muscle pump engaged long enough to overcome gravity and stagnant blood flow. Without that sustained contraction, blood often slips back down as soon as the movement stops. Over time, repeated pulling can increase pressure in fragile veins, worsen swelling, and reduce oxygen delivery to the skin and nerves. This is how minor circulation problems quietly progress into more serious complications. Many older adults hesitate to try movements like this because they fear falling or overexerting themselves. That hesitation is understandable, but avoiding this type of muscle engagement allows circulation to deteriorate. Further, when done slowly with control and proper support, this exercise strengthens the calves, improves blood return, and reinforces the muscle patterns your body relies on to stay upright when you lose your balance. The most important action is intentional practice. Focus on rising smoothly, holding steady, and lowering with control. Breathe normally and let the muscles do the work. This is not about pushing harder. It's about giving your circulation the sustained support it has been missing. And now that you understand how powerful this single movement can be, the final question becomes even more important. How do these exercises work together as a complete system to protect your legs, your balance, and your eye independence as you age? Putting it all together, protecting your circulation, your safety, and your future as we grow older. The body doesn't usually fail all at once. It changes quietly. Circulation slows little by little. Muscles lose efficiency. Balance becomes less automatic. Most of the time, these changes don't announce themselves with pain or emergencies. They show up subtly. Heavier legs at night, colder feet in bed, swelling that takes longer to go away, or that uneasy feeling when you get up in the dark to use the bathroom. These are not just inconveniences. They are signals. One of the most vulnerable times for older adults is when the body is at rest. During sleep, circulation naturally slows. If blood has already been pooling in the legs throughout the day, nighttime can increase stiffness, cramping, numbness, and even the risk of skin problems or nerve irritation. Getting out of bed, half awake with stiff ankles and sluggish blood flow is when many falls happen. Not because someone is careless, but because the body wasn't prepared to support itself. What this series of exercises teaches is something deeper than movement. It teaches awareness. Walking alone is not always enough. Resting alone is not always recovery. The aging body requires guidance, specific intentional signals that tell muscles, veins, and nerves how to work together again. When you understand how circulation truly functions after 60, you stop guessing and start protecting yourself with purpose. The difference between decline and resilience over the next 1, 3, or 5 years often comes down to consistency, not intensity. Small daily actions determine whether swelling becomes chronic, whether balance steadily erodes, or whether you remain confident moving through your home and community. Strengthening the muscle pumps in your legs is not about fitness. It's about preserving independence, preventing complications, and reducing the likelihood of events. That change lives in an instant. Looky. ENG ahead. Your future health is not defined solely by genetics or past habits. It is shaped by how well you adapt now, understanding your body, adjusting how you move, and taking responsibility for circulation and stability can mean the difference between aging with caution or aging with confidence. The most important takeaway is this: fragility is not weakness. It is a signal to act wisely. When you respond early with the right movements and the right understanding, you give your body the support it needs to carry you safely forward. And that leads to the final question worth asking: how do you turn these insights into a simple daily routine that protects you not just today, but for years to come? These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.